Hello, everybody ready? Here we go. Hi, everyone. Welcome, welcome. I was just reading what Wendy wrote me. Um, Welcome, everyone. For those of you that don't know me, my name is Cindy. I am at Simply Cindy. I am a psychic medium. I haven't done a lot of mediumship on air lately. Um, Astrology is my passion. I have lots of tools in my basket. So, we're going to talk a little bit. We've already talked about Mars retrograde, but it's really interesting how it's playing out in my life and some other people's lives. So, I wanted to go over it tonight just one more time, just kind of give you a different, maybe understanding about what happens when it goes retrograde. And y'all know I'm nosy, so I want to see charts. I want to see how it's doing in your life. Hi, Sandy. How are you? Eagle, how are you? Wendy, how are you? Thank you so much for joining. I appreciate you and love you guys. Um, yeah, I don't. I think I'm gonna have to do a mediumship one because I keep channeling. Hi, Tina. How are you? So we're just gonna take a minute, say hello to everybody. As usual, I'll cut this down and put it into a video and release it tomorrow or the next day. Um, but have y'all been tired? I've been tired. Been tired. I know everybody's going through stuff, but um, my grandbaby woke up. So I didn't go to bed. I didn't fall asleep until 1:32 last night, and then I woke up at 4 because my grandbaby was up. He was ready to go swing down in his playroom. He was ready to do his stuff. It doesn't matter if grandma's tired. Grandma can sleep later. And aches. Mm-hmm. Yeah, actually, yeah. So I already know it was my left foot last night, yesterday. And I was like, I know, it's the past. It's your footing. You're adjusting. Release that. You're taking the action. You're doing what needs to be done. Just release it. Right knee. Yeah. Oh, yeah. For you, definitely. So the knee helps you adapt, right? So moving forward in life and helps you adapt. It being your right one is like, what am I doing? Where am I going? Where am I going to step to? Right. So for me, it was the past. For me, it was like, okay, here's a Chiron wound. What am I going to do? Am I doing the right thing? Am I taking enough action? And that's what brought me to the Mars retrograde that I think I'm going to talk, that I know I'm going to talk about, but that's what had me thinking about that. Um, was the Mars retrograde that's going to go on. So for me, it was my footing. Yours is like, how am I going to adapt to the future? Me is, am I going to let go of these things as I step forward? Hmm. And I'll tell you a little bit about how it connects to like Mars retrograde because it was what was happening in August of this year. So whatever changes or things that were going on, Mars went into Cancer and then moved into Leo, right? So, hi Kathy, how are you? So Mars went into Cancer and then he went into Leo and then now he's retrograding back. So he's at 6 degrees Leo. He's going to retrograde all the way back to 17 degrees. I don't even know why I don't have my pointer out. Hold on. So he is tomorrow going to turn retrograde at 6 degrees. He is going to retrograde all the way back to 17 degrees Capricorn. Um, I'm so glad to have the beautiful women in my life. Eagle, I haven't seen you in a while. I know I've come on like at different times and I can't remember what time is good for you. So I keep changing it like an hour here, an hour there, because I'm trying to like include people every once in a while at least. Anyway, so happy to have you here, Eagle, and Sandy, you as well. So I'm always happy to have like the second part of our group that are in different parts of the country and different parts of the world. Sorry. Um, like maybe we may even have Rebecca show up. I don't know. We'll see. Anyway, so Mars is going to go back into Cancer at 17 degrees. So I've said this before, but we're going to go over this again. Um, wherever, if you have planets here, anywhere between the 17 degree to the 6 degree of Mars, I mean, to the 6 degree of Leo, if you have planets there, you're feeling it even more. Now, I don't have planets there. I don't think I have planets there. No, I don't have planets there. But it is in my fifth and sixth house. Hold on just a second. Let me check real quick. I look at so many charts that I forget mine. Oh, no, that's the. I was like, wait, my sun isn't there. So I don't have a planet. I have a point there, but it's nowhere near the retrograde part. So hold on a second. No, no. So this is to show you. So I have no planets there, but that doesn't mean that it didn't hit me. It's hit me, and it's hit me. I wouldn't say hard, but I am focused on it, right? And this is why. So in August, whatever was coming up, whatever you guys were doing, whatever we were all doing as it was moving through Cancer, I did a whole live and a video. It's 4 a.m. here. I've not been sleeping well lately, so I'm able to join. Oh, Eagle, I'm so sorry. Yeah, me too. I told you at 1:30, 2 o'clock last night, and then my grandbaby's up at 4. Um, so I feel you. So even though you do not have planets there, whatever needs to be clear, whatever needs to be understood, whatever needs to be fought for in those areas, you're about to get a second chance. So when I did the video or the live, I can't even remember. I may have turned it into a video. When I did the video about Mars going into Cancer, and I'd said, listen, Cancer will fight to the death for you, right? They won't do it in a direct way all the time. They do it like sideways, they do it indirectly, right? And so when a planet goes into a sign, it has to honor the sign's rules, the characteristics that that particular sign has, right? So when Mars went in there, Mars will act differently in Cancer than it will in Aquarius, than it will in Aries, than it will in Sagittarius, right? So, and this was going on about August. So I said, you guys, when Mars goes into Cancer, it is going to be about you protecting and holding the line and saying what you need to say and putting those boundaries in, because that is the higher octave, the more evolved Cancer that knows its boundaries. Though it will, like, when Mars, the planet of war, is like, yes, I don't care what people think of me. I'm just going to do what I need to do and put my boundary down. It won't do it directly. It has to go by the rules of Cancer. So we'll kind of do it indirectly, right? How can I do this where they kind of know, but my boundaries are kept, right? Or if you're fighting for your family, what you consider your family, right? Which is very interesting because that's what this is about for me. It's family, right? Um, and sorry, I have Lilith in the fifth house. I have Lilith in Cancer, which means I will fight even more tooth and nail. I don't really care what people think. Anyway, but it's in a Cancer way where I can't, like, I won't do it directly. It'll be like indirectly, right? A little secretive. Um, a little manipulation going on, right? So anyway, as Mars goes retrograde, it's already in Leo, and it behaves differently in Leo, where it's got the big heart and it's courageous and it doesn't care. It's a fire sign. It's going to say what it needs to say, but it will manipulate because that's Leo can do that. So whatever for you guys, whatever was happening in August, if you did not, all this that was happening from August to now, if you did not say what you needed to say, put that boundary down, make some decisions knowing you were compromising yourself, it is all going to come back around. And for me, I think I was telling Tina this because I just had a reading with her. For me, what my chart, I usually have, it happens to me a lot. It'll happen to me first so that I can explain it to you guys, right? So I'm explaining as much as I can without going too in depth and giving names and stuff like that. Um, but this is so that you understand what's going on, right? So that you can sort of incorporate it and implement it into your lives. So whatever was happening in August, it was a breakthrough of some sort, but you were having to compromise. But you could have. Did you stand up for what you believed in? Did you ignore the red flags? Did you try to compromise and overly compromise? Did you, because you were thinking about the others and you didn't want to make waves? And that's Cancer, right? I don't want to make waves. I'm not saying that they won't. They will, but they don't want to, right? Did I stand up for my family? Did I stand up for the people that I love? Did I put my boundaries down where they were defined, right? Now, for me, it's in the fifth and sixth house. Okay. So, what's the fifth house? What am I creating? The fifth house is about creation. What brings me happiness? What brings me joy? Well, you guys know my family does, right? And that right now is being really, really highlighted, and I'm having to adjust. Okay. How do I say that? I'm having to, so those of you that know me know what I'm trying to say, but I'm having to adjust because it's from my fifth house to my sixth house. That's your creativity, that's your happiness, what brings you joy, what you're trying to create in your life. Then it moves into the sixth house, which is incorporating that into and implementing that into your daily life. Now, I compromised and I let things go and I wasn't putting my boundary down. I mean, I told myself I was, but I wasn't, right? Like, that's the truth of it. There were some things that were being overstepped. And um, so, you guys know in August, we moved into this place. That's where do you live? That's your sixth house. That's your fifth house. What are you creating? Right? You guys saw all that for me. I am having to readjust this without going into too much detail. Exactly. Wendy, too. I am having my throat chakra. Wow. That was something I guess I really needed to say. I am having to. Hi, Polly. Hi, Tammy. How are you? I hope you feel better. I am having to readjust this, and I'm getting the second chance to put my boundaries down, which I've done. And there is going to be some moving and shaking because there already has been. And I just went in there and just said, this is it. I'm taking charge. This is the way it's going to be because my boundaries were being crossed. And sometimes when family is involved, you can tend to ignore the red flags or try to be like, because that is Mars and Cancer is like, all right, well, maybe I can adjust to this. Maybe I can. And what happens in the retrograde is you finally say, I've had enough. I'm disgusted. I no longer want this part. This is not going to happen. I'm putting my boundary down. Okay. Season's great. Hey, Pineapples, how are you? So glad that you made it to that members only live. That was so great. So, just know that whatever was going on, you are going to have to readjust that. Okay. And it may mean that you are finally tired of what was going on and you ignored those flags at that time. The red, we'll call them red flags for understanding purposes of phrases, right? So, um, just know that you may have to readjust this as Mars moves in to retrograde and is going to go back into Cancer. It is in Leo as it retrogrades. My Leo heart was like, hell no, that ain't happening. I am done with this. That's it. It's not going to be anymore. Right. And so I put my boundaries on. and I let people know very clearly how it's going to be, right? There's no Libra, I'm going to try to, you know, make them okay and me okay. That's not what I'm thinking. Mars is like, no. In Leo is like, no. You already did that. Where has that gotten you? It's gotten you nothing but them crossing even more of the boundary, of them pushing back even more. So for me, it was about just finally saying what I needed to say, taking some action, making it done, giving them no choice. I'm not saying that's the right way to handle it. I'm saying for me, that was the right way to handle it because now we're going to be adjusting this. Okay. And it's going to, in the adjustment, we all feel better about it. Like everyone feels better about it. So, isn't it funny how when you're thinking of others, because that's our ego, when you're thinking of others, it's almost like you're saying, I know what you need, so I'm going to give that to you. You don't really know what they need because the person or persons will just say that you may have to put the boundary down. All of a sudden, they feel free. They feel better because they were maybe not saying what they needed to say. They were maybe trying to acclimate and adjust to things that we both thought or several people thought needed to be done or needed to be the way. And with me being the Mars in Leo, I took charge. I was like, nope, this is the way it's going to be. Right. So just know wherever house that you, so whatever you've been dealing with in August, and it had come up and had come up, and so for you it's probably come up and come up and come up and come up, and now that Mars is going retrograde, you are going to have the opportunity to either put the boundary down, but from your inner workings, you're going to be probably saying, no more. I'm not doing this. It's not going to happen. No more. Right? Now, you're going to have the rest of this time from tomorrow. But again, see how it's working soon with me? It's already started working with me so this week, until February 23rd is when it goes direct again. Okay, so we are going to be dealing with this till February 23rd. Now, that doesn't mean there aren't solutions in between there and then you don't have to deal with it anymore. That just means you get the second chance all the way till February 23rd. Now, y'all know me, I'm an overachiever. And when I see Pluto or get feared, I jump. Okay. So I already know I'm not going to drag this out. I'm just like, okay, that was the wrong thing to do. I should have known better. And I should have put my feelings in there, my boundary. I should have what's my happiness, what's my joy, and not let this go on. Right. So I was like, nope, now it's time. So for me, I don't know how that's going to continue to play out. It's playing out well so far because it's like everybody's getting what they want. And it's almost like I was doing what I thought those people needed or those people wanted and adjusting that way. And that's not even what was happening. So just know that you will be dealing with something like this. I'm trying to be general so that everybody understands. And for me, again, it's the fifth and sixth house, right? So for you, it could be the ninth and 10th. For you, for others, it could be the first and second. It's wherever, wherever Cancer and Leo are in your chart, but you're going to get the second chance to pivot, to readjust, to realign, to refigure, to all the re's, right? So, but it's about you coming to terms and putting your boundaries down and then making that action because you know Leo's an action and so is Mars, making that action and um, that makes the adjustment. Okay. Does that make sense to everybody? Oh, I know, right? So pineapple says good, moving and shaking. Cannot wait for another one. Yes, I will be doing another live, private live with my members, and where we'll be talking about herbs. Not just talking about it, I'm showing you guys stuff. So if you guys are interested, those of you that are here and are interested, my membership is $4.99, and that's where I really get to talk about what I really want to talk about herbs and can say it without like being dinged. I can really talk like I need to talk or want to talk, right? So it was exciting. We had that private live, and I showed everybody how to extract and put into an oil. Rebirthing again. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. But to give you a clue, it all started in August. So if you guys think back to what was happening in August for you guys and what was changing, and to me, it was like a leveling up. So your world was going like the next level. It was opening up. Remember, we had Jupiter there as well, so it was opening up. Yes, but am I looking at my birth chart or am I supposed to look at my placements today? No, 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 it's okay. So where is let me look at yours. So you're looking at you can look at your birth chart. I don't know if I have yours. Well, you know what, Wendy? Let's do that. Let's do you now. That's what this is for. Because y'all know I am nosy and want to see. So let's take Wendy. Do you mind, Wendy? She always says yes, but I want to ask her anyway. I'll wait for her to give me the yes. And I'll pull your chart up. And that's a good question. That way other people can see. I'll wait till she says. Okay, perfect. She gave me the thumbs up. All right, let's look at. Let me pull up Wendy's. Okay, there's Wendy, right? It was October 30th. Look. December. Okay. So the inner part, Wendy, is your birth chart, right? The outer part is where the planets are right now. Okay. So we're going to look to your Leo and Cancer, right? So, because you're a Cancer sun, right? So your Cancer, so you have the sun at 20 degrees. Remember, I said, so this is where you're looking for. You're looking for where your Cancer and where your Leo is. Okay. So Leo is turning retrograde tomorrow. He has been moving through your second and your third house. Okay. There was something when he was here about 17 degrees, right? When he was here, there was something in August that came up having to do with your value, because this is the second house, how you make your money, um, the value you have on yourself and the value you put on others, and what do you consider valuable, and the way that you make your money and the way you've decided to make your money. And that's all your second house, right? So that was really targeted at that time. And I remember you had questions and we were doing stuff. In August, I was in charge at work while boss was out of country. Okay, so that may be coming up again, or it may be that in that, did you really hold your boundaries? Did you really the whole month, right? Okay, so you shown here because when Mars went over at 20 degrees, Mars went over here and he activated your sun, which means everybody was looking at you. You were the one to see. And like you said, I was the boss for that time, that your boss went out of town, so you were the boss. That makes sense. Mars and the sun, right? So I don't know if that's going to come up in that particular way, but whatever's been happening since. Oh, well, think about this, Wendy. The way that you make your money. Since that, you've been honored. The big boss came and talked to you. You got offered a different position. They're willing to like almost make you like have your own facility, like all of that, right? Well, that is going to come back around. And this is where you got offered the job and all of this has been happening since Mars has been in here, right? I was ghosted by my crush for a whole week and I was hurt. That too, right? Well, because I can say that publicly. But anyway, all of this is going to be coming back around. So you may be getting another opportunity. Like I said to everybody, this is your second chance to put your boundaries down and readjust this. For you, it's this big projects that's like trying to come at you. Like Wendy, they're willing to like give you, or they're looking at you to give you another facility, like you be the main boss at this other facility. They already tried to give that to you, but you squashed it. You said no, right? Like your son was really being activated, and you loving you and having your boundaries, that was a real thing. Yeah. So just know that you're going to get another chance at holding your boundaries, saying what you want, how you're making your money, valuing yourself. What do you consider valuable? Like you may have said, hey, I want this, and this, and I want to work here, 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 and I want the facility here, here, right? They may give you that opportunity again. And that's the time where you're like, okay, it's Mars retrograde. I want that. Not just the last time they offered it to you, you were just like, no, that's not for me. But this time they may offer you something else. I'm not saying that's going to happen. I'm just saying it's very possible because Mars retrograde is going to go over your sun again. But this time, we're just going to play the scenario out, right? This time, you could be like, you know what? Thank you again for offering, but this is what I want. But. And then you thinking and being scared of like, am I valuable enough? And am I holding? And with the Mars retrograde, you're like, yes, I am. I've been working on this. I know this. I'm not having this. This is my boundary. And they may come to you and be like, thank you for really saying what you want. And yes, we can do that. Just know that may happen. That may happen. Okay. Yeah, and I'm also looking at that Venus getting closer to that Mars. Now, Mars is going to retrograde, so it's not going to go there yet, but we'll talk about this coming up for you. That's going to be coming up in March, where Venus and Mars are right over each other with Mercury. Oh, you know what? I feel like you're going to meet somebody here. Right, so fascinating. Yeah, well, I'm glad that you let me like put this up here so that people can kind of see what I'm talking about. Like here's real life, here's a chart, here's Wendy's chart, right? So, uh that's going to be going on. You'll be dealing with that. It's going to go back to 17 degrees, but remember it's going to go back over the sun. I told you this in a reading. You get this going back over your sun 3 times. So not only does it go, it already went once and you saw the opportunity, it's going to come back around to 17 degrees and then it's going to come back around again. It hits it 3 times. That's your sun. You are going to be honored. You're going to be looked at. You're going to be valued. You're going to be seeing that. You've got opportunities coming. I think I said that last time. I know I've said this to you before. Yeah. So, yeah, let me see Kathy's. Kathy, can I show yours? Do you have any questions, first of all, Wendy? I'm going to see you anyway, but do you have any questions so that if you have any questions, people can get that? I remember that I was terminated 2 weeks before August. Oh, wow. Okay. I know, right, Kathy? Wendy is valuable. Yes, she is. Yeah. Okay. Perfect. Thank you, Kathy. So Kathy says, sure, I can do hers. Okay. Let's see what we got for you, Kathy. Okay, so here's Kathy. Now the inner is what you were born with. These are where the stars and the planets and everything was when you were born. This is what's going on right now. Okay. So we're going to look to Cancer and Leo, right? Well, look at this. Look at this Uranus at 17 degrees Cancer. Your natal Uranus is about to be activated again. And just like Wendy's, that's going to be activated 3 times. Yours was once, then it's coming back, and then it's going back, right? So Uranus is about freedom and a revolution within you and shock and awe. And this is your eighth house. This is other people's money. This is contracts you enter with. This is with Mars coming back around here. And this is April 5th. Hold on. Sorry. Let me go back. We talked about, oh, I had this on the April from when we talked. Hold on. Okay. Sorry. But you got that coming too. We talked about that already though. So tomorrow, December 6th. Look at this. Here's your Mars. It was here. You were born with Uranus at 17 degree Cancer. Okay. So it is going to go back at 17 degrees Cancer was in August. So what was happening in August? Entering contracts, dealing with other people, like it could have been inheritances, it could have been contracts that you entered with other people. And this was something that you really liked and loved, but because it was Cancer, maybe you thought you had to compromise in some way and maybe overly compromised in some way. I'm not really sure. So, do you know what was happening in August? Because this is going to come back around. And it's still in your eighth house. So your eighth house is like really finish the water issue. Yeah, so you did deal with contracts. Okay. So it doesn't mean that you're gonna have another water issue. What it means is like, was there something during that time period that you may have felt you needed? Normally you would protect, normally you would have a boundary, normally, but because maybe um the way things were happening, you felt like you had to compromise in some way. I know she was thinking, oh my God, am I going to have water issue? No, no. But it is Uranus that's being activated when it goes to the 17 degree, which means to me, it is going to come in a way that you didn't expect. And that doesn't mean that doesn't have to be in a bad way. It just means at some point when this was going on, did you feel like maybe like I'm just gonna give you a scenario. Like maybe they charged you too much for all of the stuff that they did, and you kind of figured it out, but you didn't say anything about it. Uranus may like, as Mars comes back here, Uranus may be like, no, that's yours. And then you get a call from them and they give you a refund of some sort, or they give you money of some sort. This is other people's money. This house is other people's money, right? Lurking in the background. Hi, sweetheart. How are you? I hope you're doing okay. That's Chance, everybody. So it could be something like that, Kathy. But it does have to do with your emotions because remember, your water issues were dealing with your emotions. I was dealing with two companies and discovered one was not doing me right. Okay. That may come back around where you get a chance. So remember, everybody's getting the second chance right now. Okay. From now until February, you're getting the second chance to be able to put your boundary in and not ignore the red flag because it's Cancer who wants to, like, well, they didn't mean it that way, and talk themselves into peace, right? And overextend themselves, right? And so it's going to come back around, right? So just know for you, but this is what, so if that would be a normal, okay, Mars is going back into Cancer, but you have Uranus retrograding. I mean, sorry, you have Uranus in your natal, which is going to activate it. And so I feel like, um, remember, Uranus's job is to make you free. Do I feel free? Have I changed this? Have I put the boundary in? Do I have freedom? Am I stepping into what I mean, am I standing in my true self? Right? That's why I'm like yours is a little bit different because that's Uranus we're talking about. But whatever it is, you're not going to see it the way that you think you see it coming. It's going to come in a very different way. But I think because you have worked, this is something you worked through. As Mars gives you the second shot, there's something good coming here. Okay. It's like, okay, I have taken the higher octave, the more evolved Cancer, and put my boundary in with Mars. Okay. Jesus, help me with words. uh, I have some spare change, Kathy. Yeah. Let's see. So does that make sense, Kathy? Okay. Anybody else want me to do their chart real quick? Tammy. Tina. I'll tell you, Tammy just cracks me up. Tammy has my back. Hey, Catherine, how are you? That's so weird. Can y'all see me and hear me? Can y'all see me and hear me? Because I'm looking down at my timer thing that says I'm recording or live streaming, and it's not moving. But we are in Mercury retrograde. So, okay. That's so weird. But I think I said Wendy and Kathy, I think I sent Wendy and Kathy a picture yesterday of my computer that said it was 23,800 and something degrees here. It's like Mercury retrograde, I told you guys, is really messing with me. Okay, perfect. Okay. I don't know what's going on. I know. Your picture is the size of blotter acid. I don't know what blotter acid is. Yeah, see, that's weird. Let me make this picture smaller so y'all can see it better. Do do do. Is that better? Y'all don't need to see me that big anyway. That's like showing too much. Don't donate your thumbs. Right? Please donate your thumbs. Give me a thumbs up. Share me out would be great. Um I think, oh well, like now I have super chats and all of that if you want to do that. Okay, so I want to get my members first. Catherine, Eagle. No, wait. Catherine, Pineapples in LA. Tina, I saw you today. Poor Tina. I know at some point she was like, okay, you're talking way too much. So, Pineapple, do you want me to do yours or Polly or Catherine? Hi, Denise. How are you? So, I'm going to take care of my members first. The membership is up and running, Denise. Yes, thank you. You should have a join button. And if you don't, and which too, Tammy? Okay, so Pineapple says, sure, I'd love you for you to look at my chart. Okay, let me do Catherine, Pineapples, Polly. Well, Polly, let me know if you want me to do it, because I'm not going to do it if you don't want me to do it. But I think, do I have Catherine? Pineapple. Pineapple, do I have you under a different name? I thought we'd done yours before. Yo, no, I have you. Okay, let me look at yours, Pineapple. This is you, correct? Pineapple? Polly says, I guess. This is what you get when you're a member. You get front of the line privileges. No, I have you as Pineapples in LA. Or is it Pineapples in Lala? I just realized that. Okay. All right. So yeah, it looks like the last time we looked at yours was October 15th. So let's who's going Pineapple's going first. Then I'm gonna do Catherine Ann if she wants, and then you. Okay, here we go. Okay. Either way. Okay, good. Well, I like pineapple in LA, so that's the way I'm gonna say it. Thank you, Witch Witch. Thank you, Tammy. Let me see. Okay, so for everybody that's just now watching, you want to look because you probably don't have the software. I think you can always go onto the other free softwares, but you want to look at where your Leo and your Cancer is. Okay, so you need support. You need supper too. I do need supper. So you're going to look on your birth chart. Where is my Cancer and where is my Leo? Okay. Now, if you have planets from 17 degrees Cancer to 6 degrees Leo, which is still here, right? For her, it's in the same house. If you have planets there, this is going to affect has been affecting you. And this started in August. Okay. Now, to me personally, it was like a level of because Jupiter was involved of opening my pathways, like the hard work that I've done. The when Pluto said jump, I jumped. When Jupiter opened something up, I went through it. Like that stuff, right? Not everybody's that way, but I'm that way. Okay, so planets are going to affect you. And again, I'm going to be reading some people, and they may have planets here, right? Now, she has planets here in Leo. Well, she's got the North Node here, but it's not affecting her yet. Okay. So it's going to affect her in March, April, when maybe before then, because no, in March or April is when it's going to affect the North Node, her destiny. She So didn't you just say you're moving and shaking? Your destiny is getting close, close. And if I'm not mistaken, because we're going to have the eclipses in March and April, where they move signs, we're going to have the solar, the lunar first, and then the solar, and they're going to be in Aries and Virgo, and then we're moving into the Pisces Virgo axis. Okay, so that's just a little extra. That's not what I'm talking about tonight. But I'm looking at hers and I'm like, ooh, you got some good stuff coming. You got some really good stuff coming. Anyway, so in August, at see how her Cancer starts at 14 degrees. Okay. Mars is going to move back to 17 degrees. So we're still going to be in the fifth house. So Pineapples is in LA is dealing like almost like the same thing that I'm dealing with, in the same area of life, not the same thing, but the same area. Because for me, it's the fifth and sixth house. For her, it's just the fifth house. Okay, mine actually is over here where Mars is here at 6 degrees. Okay, so that's the difference. For me, it's hitting both these houses. For her, it's just hitting this one house. Okay, so in August, Pineapple, something was going on having to do with how you create, what is your happiness, what brings you joy, what are you doing what you love? This was Mars, right? So, with it being in Cancer, this is going to, because it was Cancer, it's almost like there were some red flags, there were some things that you felt that you had to compromise, um to be able to have the happiness, to have the joy, right? To create what it was you were creating, right? You saw some red flags, but you were willing to compromise, willing to ignore Cancer, ignore the red flags because it was going to make things better. Okay? Now, your soul has said, I know you're used to doing it that way. We're not going to do it that way this time. I'm going to give you a second chance. This is where Mars comes in. I want you to, so this is you from now until February, that you're going to be like, you know what, I'm done. I thought compromising was going to make things better. It's not. I thought ignoring the red flags of what I was creating and my happiness was going to make things better. It's not. So I've had enough. I'm not doing this anymore. And you put your boundaries down. Okay. This is your second chance. All of us, we're all getting a second chance. Okay. So, but this has to do with you being happy, you finding your joy, and you creating what you want. And maybe it's that you think that you had to overcompensate or overcompromise to be able to have the thing that you created. But Mars is here to say you don't. What you do have to do is put a boundary down because your happiness does not need to be compromised. Your joy does not need to be compromised. What you're creating does not need to be compromised. Now, can you work with people? Yes. But this is like like for me it was like people around me and I had to like adjust because you don't want to make waves and you want to do the right thing. But even on my path, it's like, nope. So you'll come to like this understanding of, um, we're not gonna do that this way. We're not. I'm putting my boundary down. I'm done with this. I'm gonna do it a different way. Now that action, like it's gonna be an understanding within, and then you're gonna take the action because it's Mars, right? And you'll be dealing with this until February. Now you don't have any planets here. Just like me, I don't have any planets here, right? So it's really about doing it in the Cancer way and the Leo way. Okay? Does that make sense? All right. So the next one is Catherine Ann. Catherine. I'm pretty sure I have yours, Catherine. Catherine, let me know if this is yours because I have a lot of Kathy, Catherine. I think this is yours. Yay! Thank you, Denise. Oh, it did work. See? Thank you, Denise. So, everybody, welcome Denise. She just became a member. I don't know if you guys got to see that on the screen. Okay, that's you, Catherine. Thank you, Denise. So, Tammy, you want yours read as well, right? So, after Polly will be Tammy and then Denise, okay? All right, so, Catherine, we haven't done a transit on you in public. Let's see. All right, so here's today's date. All right, Catherine, this is what you were born with. The stars and the planets and everything were here when you were born. And then this is where they all are right now. Okay. Thank you, pineapples. Oh, thank you for the super chat. I appreciate. Oh, I'm so happy that because I did the thing without David. And no, for you guys are like, what are you talking about? The noises, and if you can see something come up on the screen, I'm not sure if you can, but I did that on my own without David. So I'm really happy that it's working. If y'all are like, what the hell is she talking about? It's like I did it for myself. I was able to do it. I did it without David. I'm a big girl now. Exactly. Exactly. Okay. So, Catherine, we're looking at your Cancer and your Leo, right? You have your Mars return. You're about to have your Mars return. Wow. You haven't had it yet. So here's the thing, Catherine. This is so crazy. It's like just when you were about to have your Mars return, it's going retrograde. Like, psych, you got to wait a little bit longer. There's some other things you got to do first. Okay. So, your Mars, you were born with Mars at 11 degrees. Okay. It's at 6 degrees. It's like right there. It is going to influence it, but it's not the return yet. Okay. So, this is about really standing in who you are deep inside and showing that to the world, which there is some wounding that you're almost done with in this from the 10th house. Does that make sense? But that's not what we're going to talk about. We're going to talk about the Mars. I'll start getting into Pluto and Venus and it'll be all over with. So let's focus. Okay. So you are going to have your Mars return that's right next to your moon. Oh, Catherine, I know you are beautiful. You've got that moon in Leo. Wow. So just gorgeous. And Mars right there. Yeah, you're just to die for. Yeah, definitely. So here's the thing. You'll have your Mars return in probably March or the end of March. I'll look for you real quick, but you're about to have your Mars return. And I'll do a video next time where I do Mars return. Okay. Because I have to do the nodal returns because they're about to happen to people. So in August, there was something dealing with, because you're a 4-degree Cancer for your third house, but we're somewhere here in the 17 degrees, right? So Mars is about to go from your fourth into your third, back into your third, and then move back into your fourth, where then you get to have a Mars return. Okay. So I feel like you are really, there was something dealing with either this was in August, your family member, your siblings, really, your siblings that could have turned into your family members, like more than just your siblings, because that's the fourth. Where you come from, how you see things, why you see things different than others, really breaking out and opening up. And Tammy could tell you about this because, I mean, not Tammy, Tina could tell you about this because we talked about this. Really knowing and honoring who you are inside the place that you don't show people, finding your genius in there, finding who you really are, accepting that and bringing that out. And so maybe there were some flags, some compromise that you decided was not worth it. You didn't want to do it yet. It was okay. That's the way they always are. It was some red flags. It could have been neighbors. Um, and it could have been just people around you. So this is like your everyday neighbors, siblings, the way that you communicate. This was being challenged, the way that you communicate, because you communicate like a Cancer, right? Even though you're a Taurus ascending and a Sag, girl, you're so confused sometimes because you're, oh, wait a minute, where are you? You're not a Sag. Yeah, you're a Libra. You're a Libra sun, a Leo moon, and a Taurus ascending, but your moon is down here in the fourth house, right? So you know how you feel about things, but it's almost like you can't be direct because you'll offend people and you want to keep the peace, right? Now, lately, I see that Lilith is here. Let me try to focus, just stay on this. I'm sorry, I'll start looking at the other planets. I'm like, oh, it connects here, here, here. Let me stay here. Let me stay here. Okay, so there is something that you weren't able to be. So you're used to being indirect, but getting your way when you communicate so that you don't offend and ruffle feathers, right? With Mars here, you were seeing how that, whatever was going on in August, how that was stunting you, was like holding you back, was like really not getting you what you wanted, right? And so you were allowing these boundaries because you over compromised what you thought you were balancing and you weren't. You were over compromising, right? Yeah, so she's slowly moving sideways. Yeah. But she's been working on that since Mars had been in Cancer, where she can see it in herself of like, you know what? Me over compromising is not getting me anywhere. Me, not, well, you didn't think you were over compromising. Me compromising is not getting me anywhere. This is not fixing. This is not changing. And so as Mars goes back, because you saw it when Mars hit Leo in your fourth house, this is who I am, and I am not going to do this anymore. And people are just going to have, oh, this is, you have the our fortune here. So you have this far fortune here. I'm going to talk about the far fortune at some other time. But when Mars went into Leo is when you sort of got the gumption and with your open heart and saying, you know what, I'm seeing things differently. I thought I could do this. I don't want to do this anymore. And so as it goes retrograde, and this has probably been happening for the last week for you, it's like my thoughts and where I come from and my belief systems are different. And I need to show people. I need to like really show people, right? So that they understand. That means that I need to put into practice. You see this Capricorn in your 10th house? And so what if I'm different? There's a way to do this where I don't have to compromise myself overly, right? And so as there was something that happened in August, you're going to get a shot of that again, where your boundaries that were crossed, your red flags that you chose to ignore so that you could compromise, is going to give you a second shot to be able to stand, yeah, and have those people The toxic people gotta go. They just gotta go. Period. The end. And if you gotta say it, and if you're like, okay, if I gotta be direct about it and hurt people's feelings, because that's gonna be Mars when he goes in here, then that's what I gotta do. But I can no longer not honor who I really am. They're not just this light. This is the bottom of your chart. This is your deepest you. Who are you here? Your happiness is important to you. Look at this Leo fifth house. Your happiness is important, and you can't do that over compromising here any longer. Like you're going to do that any longer. And I feel like you'll get through this, and then you'll have that Mars retrograde, and good Lord help us all if we cross you. Whoever does not understand your boundaries and crosses those, nope. I can't. I just want some popcorn and I want to be able to see when that happens. Just please see when that happens. Because my sad self is going to be like, yeah, yeah, yeah. And my Aquarius self is going to be like, he. And my Gemini self is going to be going along with both of them and think it's funny too. Okay, does that make sense? Okay, so that's what you'll be working on until February. You're going to get another shot at this. Okay. Okay, now we do. So Catherine Ann, and then I said Polly, then Tammy, right? And then Denise. Did I miss anybody? Polly, Tammy, Denise. Let me see, Polly. You're welcome, sweetheart. Thank you. And thank you guys for supporting me. I really appreciate it. Uh, let's see. Come on, Catherine, come over to the dark side. We like it over here. Let's see, Polly. Polly, I thought I had your. Oh, okay. I thought I had your stuff here for some reason. All right, let me. You guys have to. I'm on my way. Yes, you are. I just want to. Can I be there when you do it? Uh, okay, San Angelo, Texas. Okay, so it's Polly. Polly, you know how I said my mother was a Taurus? Guess what her birthday is? Or was? Isn't that crazy? Okay, is this you? Yeah. Yeah, way. I'm not kidding. And you were she's 55. She's at 1955. That's so crazy. Is this you? No, that's the wrong time. No, is that the right time? Yeah, 11:45 a.m. I know. That's crazy, Polly. Okay, so you are a Leo ascending. Did you know that? You are a Taurus sun. Yeah, 1952 is what I have. I was just saying hers was 55. Um, oh, and you're an Aquarius moon. Interesting. So everyone, I've never seen Polly's chart. This is the first time I'm looking at her chart. Girl, how many times have I told y'all? Y'all just make it really bad. You have this Leo ascending, which is probably why you do so well with your husband. But you have Pluto right here in that first house. So let's look at the transit. All right, so you were born with this. This is where the stars and the planets and everything was when you were born, and here's where they are today. Okay, so we are going to be looking at this Leo Cancer. And look guys, she's got it at 17 degrees. That's crazy. So her 12th house starts at 17 degrees. Yep. And that's where it's going to retrograde back to, right? So it's at 6 degrees now. It will just be dealing with your 12th house. Okay, so it's at 6 degrees now, and then I'm going to move it to tomorrow where it becomes retrograde, right? So it's retrograde tomorrow. Is that a hair razor? Yeah. So the 12th house. Now remember, Pluto's in my 12th house right now, so I thought I knew the 12th house. I mean, I thought I knew all we could know about the 12th house because that's the way we're taught here on this earth is like, or through astrology. You know, you can't know everything, and it is the opening to the other world, the other dimensions, the other parts of you, the other parts of other beings, right? So, but I'm learning deeper stuff in there because Pluto is in there and has been in there for me for the last 6 years, 5 years. So the 12th house, having Mars here, it was almost like, so anything going into the 12th house, if you think about it, it being the opening to the other dimensions, the other worlds, the other beings, the other things. The ninth house is the modalities that we use to bring the 12th house in. Does that make sense to everybody? This is what I've learned. Okay. So the 12th house we can't see. The 12th house when I was like, how do you expect me to work in this 12th house? I can't see. And my higher self was like, you don't have to see. You have other things that you can do. Like, you are one that doesn't need to see. You can feel, you can sense, you can dream, you have modalities that you use to get to through here, right? So that has been opening up for you when Mars came through here, but it may have felt like it was hard to grasp at first, right? So what was going on in August that you had to use your other senses for instead of going head on with it? Because you're a Leo who will go head on, straight for it. I know you're a Taurus that takes some time, but you're a Leo ascending. So you can move forward when you need to. So whatever was happening in August, having to do, this is people that so how do they say that? Your hidden enemies. This was self-sabotaging. They call this house the self-sabotaging house because you can't see it, some people don't move in it, right? And they will move in the wrong direction. Well, especially because it's Cancer, you can tend to ignore the red flags because you're trying to overcompromise to be able to make things move or make things go. Or basically what you're doing is you're using your five senses instead of using your other 10. Does that make sense? This has been happening for you, right? It's like you're not trusting yourself. And then you have Lilith right here. Like, Mars went over Lilith already, which gave you the gumption, even though I can't see it, I'm going to do what I need to do to move things forward. You did. You have been getting, going to, preparing for your health. 12th house. How do I get through it? The 6th house, right? How do I get through the 12th house? I use the 6th house. For you, it was grounding everything. Uh, Seeing the doctor, doing the appointments, making the calls, doing the everyday things, taking care of your health, really like all of that, the 6th house, right? So, and then you had Lilith that was activated. So you were born with Lilith, who is sort of not dormant, but is tamed in that 12th house. But when she had Mars go over her, that's when you were like, remember you were telling us all, like, I'm moving forward, I'm doing it, I'm doing it, I'm doing it. That's what happened was Mars was going over your Lilith. Yep, working hard. Perfect. So Mars is going to go back because there are still some compromises starting from August, whatever's happening in August, that you felt at that time to ignore the red flags, to over compromise. And it has to do with whatever's going on here in this Capricorn 6th house. When you organize, when you work hard, when you become the authority, when you get tested and um, pass the test, when you do all of that, that's Capricorn. When you do that, you get results. Okay? But there was something that's going to come back around in your 12th house. It's like not even going into your 11th. It's staying in that 12th house. It's like trusting yourself, having faith in yourself. Even though I can't see it, I can feel it. I can sense it. I know it's for me. Does that make sense? That's going to come back around. And Lilith is there to help you. She's dormant normally for you. Like, she's not dormant, she's tame. Like, if you could have a little bit of a handle on Lilith, it would be in the 12th house. Okay? It's not a lot, but it is a little bit. But with Mars activating her, she's like, F no. I'm not living like this anymore. I'm not doing this anymore. I'm not having these people around me. I'm not. That makes sense? Okay. So that's Polly. And then we have Tammy. Which? And then we have Denise. Okay, perfect. Tammy, who knows what name I put you under because you are such a ham that I may have like put a different name to you. I think this is you. Is this you? July 4th? Yeah, you're Cancer. Okay, the last time we looked at your stuff was October 17th. You're welcome, sweetheart. I hope that helps. So I guess the last time I did this was like October. I didn't realize it had been so long. No, that's your twin. Oh my god. Okay. So here's December 6th. This is what you were born with on the inside. This is where the planets are now on the outside. Okay. We are wanting to look at your Cancer and your Leo, right? Now, your Cancer starts the 11th house at 22 degrees. So we're going to be 10th and 11th is what we're working with. Okay. So, how am I to the world? How am I seen in the world? How do people see me? What is my career? You could say that, but it's more about what's my reputation? How do people see me? What am I showing them? And am I showing them the correct way? Right? It's a Gemini house, so it can adapt, but what's being activated here is your Cancer, right? And so instead of being direct, like Gemini can be. Gemini is adaptable, so a lot of times you can be indirect. I know you can be direct. I've seen it. We all seen it, but I'm just saying, like how you use humor to like communicate, that's the 10th house the way that we see you, right? So, in August, did you say that was when you lost your job? Cuz that's your 10th house. Mars went into your 10th house, right? And so, but in August, there was something going on from August all the way up until probably a couple weeks ago is when it was like, you, whatever situation was going on, you decided to shortly before that. Okay. So, it was, so you're going to have another opportunity with either a job or the way that you do that, the job. Like I was in hermit mode. Yeah. I remember that now. I remember you saying you were in hermit mode. So that's going to come back around. You could have, because it's going to be conjunct. It's going to be activating your Mercury, which is communication. So you may get a second shot at whatever. Weren't you dealing with like, I might have another job, I might get another thing, and then you weren't sure? Was that you? You were in hermit mode at this time, I remember. This may come back around as you didn't get like a possible, like I'm looking into something. I thought that was you. Maybe it was somebody else. Okay. Well, this is going to, okay. This is going to come back around where you get, so your reputation, the way you're looked at, for some reason, was being, it's almost like you saw yourself in a different way, but you weren't sure if that's the way you wanted people to see you or not. And that's when Mars was in this Cancer. Like, am I direct? Am I indirect? Am I protecting what I need to protect? Am I standing up for myself, or do I continue to have these toxic situations? Maybe not people, but situations, right? Um, where people see me as a certain way, right? This is going to have, and for some reason, you have, yeah, you compromise the way that you communicate with people or allow them to see you in a certain way. Yeah, and you're going to come to this understanding. It's going to come from within where you're like, I don't want that anymore. I don't need that anymore. I don't want that anymore. I did stand up and I got terminated. So that part is going to probably come back around where you're going to get. So if you already did this, because I didn't do it, but if you already did this, you could be rewarded at this time for it. So that's why I'm saying the other job. I know I've told you before that you're getting another job, but that may be why I'm seeing the other job. Because if you already did this, you may pivot. You may have to pivot a little, like with your group. That's like us. Like maybe you can't get on here every time because you're having to work at this new place that you love because you're doing it the way that you want to do it. You are attracting, or you have attracted, what it is that you're really wanting, how it is that you want to do your work and have people see you. You're getting a second shot at this. Okay? So that can come out in very different ways, but it does have to do with the way that you're communicating to the world. Okay? It's like, am I going to do it directly or am I going to do it indirectly? And I am no longer going to have these situations come about in my life. No more lacking, no more. And you have been working on that with the lack. Like, you're the one that can just like do a scratch off and make money, which we all love here. Like, nobody's jealous. Everybody's like, yeah, go, girl. Right? which is the right energy, attracting the right people, attracting the right group. That is your North Node, right? Um, it is not conjunct until March, where you get Mars conjuncting your North Node, so your destiny is coming close. And it is, I mean, your sun is, you do really, really well when you do it with people. I just have a way with words, or words have a way with me. Exactly. So that's going to come about again. Okay. Now, Denise, I don't think I have yours, Denise, do I? Maybe I do. For some reason, I think I do. No, I don't have yours. I thought I had yours. Okay. Well, once again, thank you for becoming a member, and thank you all for being members. I appreciate it. Oh, you're January 20. Wow. Okay. Okay. Let's see. Let's see. And you were Sweden. Yeah. Mm, I think it's just gonna come to you. You get the second shot. Okay, so you're January 24th. Wait. Oh, birthday. Yeah, January 24th, 1989. Then your birth time, 7:47 a.m. Okay, perfect. Okay, is this you, Denise? Have you ever seen your chart before? Ooh, look at you. Wow, you just went through heck. I mean, what? Man, do we make it hard sometimes. Look, you have Uranus, Saturn, and Neptune in your 12th house. Like Neptune can work in that 12th house, but that's Saturn. Oh, you're really good at manifesting. But that Uranus throws you for a loop, right? Yeah. But Pluto activated. Oh my God, your world has changed. Pluto activated that Uranus in the beginning. Pluto activated that Saturn in the middle, and then that Neptune in the middle. Did you become a really good manifester during that time? Did you learn that? But you have had some really good luck here when Pluto came here. Wow. And the sun. So Pluto is right here at that 1 degree. And it's going to activate that sun. What do you do for a living? I was occupied trying to. Yeah. Yeah. Because you didn't trust yourself. Because Saturn's been showing you, you know all this stuff, you feel all this stuff. All you have to do is believe in yourself. Nothing at the moment have had 2 year break from the Matrix. It's more than the Matrix. This is beyond the Matrix. You have a connection here. Okay, I'm not gonna do a chart reading. I just want to do that. Let's I'll get sidetracked. Y'all got to keep me on track. Y'all know that Gemini side of me. That Sag wants to be the philosopher, and that Gemini side will get distracted. Okay, so look, I'm looking at. You need to come see me. Okay, so we're gonna look at your seventh and nope, just your seventh. Ooh, wow. Focusing on regaining inspiration on my overall health. Oh, you have Chiron in there. What was it doing? Okay. Okay, so you got Leo and Aquarius intercepted in your first and seventh house. Okay, so you got Cancer's going, it's right here. So Mars is right here in your seventh house. It's been in your seventh house the whole, like, since, yeah, since August. So whatever was going on with in August having to do with did you finally understand about yourself not to become the martyr? Like, I hope you understand that about yourself. So there was something happening in August having to do with other people, relationships, whether it's partnerships, whether it's family, whether it's friends. I'm trying to stay on track. You have so much that I'm seeing here. um, that was happening in August that you felt like you had to overcompromise, right? You felt like, and this is dealing with relationships, right? So the seventh house can be your husband or wife or whatever your partner, but it's not just your romantic or life partner. It's your other partners as well in business, your family, like any of those partnerships. Okay. That had been activated in August. There was a way where you were allowing your boundaries to be crossed, and this has been going on for you for a while because this is your south node and your moon. But in August, a boundary was being crossed and some ways were being compromised that you were ignoring so that because you felt close to this person or these people or this way. Does that make sense? That started in August where you felt that, where you were like, and all it's done, it was like a way up, a way out of where you've been with this Capricorn Pluto thing going on. But yeah, yes, it's been an ongoing theme throughout this summer. Yes. So whatever was happening in August, you're going to get a second shot at it. This is where you need to put your boundary down. This is where you need to not ignore the red flags and come at it directly. Because you will tend to have relationships where you don't really say what you want, but you expect them to know what you want, and you come sideways instead of being direct with them. You have it in you to be direct. You have that, but so you can, so there are times in your life where you can be bold and courageous, but for the most part, you allow these boundaries to be crossed. Okay. So you're going to get a second shot at this. When that comes about, this ongoing thing that's been going on, you need to not ignore the red flags because I'm telling you from my experience, you think you're doing them a favor, you're not. They're trying to do you a favor too, or they are wanting out of whatever situation this is, they want out or they want it different, but they can't come to you and tell you. Okay? So with Mars going retrograde tomorrow, you will be dealing with this until, see how it's retrograde? So it's going to come back here to your seventh house right around here. But it's still going to be relationships. Relationships is your theme until you get this fixed where you're like, no more toxicity. No more people treating me this way. No more am I going to ignore these red flags. No more. And when you do that, I promise you, you will be rewarded and you will feel much better. You have done this before in a big way, actually. That's why this is, yeah, you have done this before in other lifetimes, but for some reason this is like a sticky situation where you just decided that you were going to over compromise, and that's not who you are. You need to put down, yeah, you need to put down your boundaries. Okay? I hope that helps. Yeah, you're going to get your second shot. All right. I hope that helps. That was it, right? Okay, I think I am going to go. I moved to Bali at the end of August, so it will be interesting how it plays out. Yes. And now, since I've said that to like everybody, and this is out, if you guys can let me know how this, you guys, we can do it privately since y'all are members, but I kind of want to see how this plays out for you guys because I'm nosy. I'm nosy. You're welcome, Denise. Thank you so much for becoming a member. Thank you all for not just subscribing, but thank you for super chatting me. Thank you for giving me coffee, Tammy. Thank you for becoming a member, all of you. I appreciate it. Um, I will be on, what's tomorrow? Friday? Yeah. Hopefully, I'll have some sleep tonight. Anyway, as Tina would say, I love your face. I'll see you guys on the next one.